Welcome. Hi, I'm Carol Nelson, Superintendent of Schools for AlvinISD. Today we have the opportunity for some of our teachers to showcase some of the engaging lessons that they've been designing over the last couple of weeks for our students around the Houston metropolitan area. Our teachers began a couple of weeks ago planning for a learning platform digitally and remotely for our students. You'll see today some of their talents that they've been working hard on for our students on a daily basis. We know that these are trying times for many families and students, and we miss you each day. We wish we were able to be there with you physically, but since we can't, like I said, we've designed some engaging lessons today, and I hope you enjoy them just as much as we have. Here we go.
This is Mrs. Trunk again, bringing you another science lesson for the week. I hope y'all had a wonderful week last week and a great weekend with your family. I know that y'all have been working hard at home to continue your learning with your parents. We still miss you very much, and we can't wait to see you and return to Don Jeter. I know it was nice to see a lot of you at the teacher parade through Rodeo Palms. So I hope we have a great week this week, and I hope you enjoy your video lessons and your activities and your assignments and do a great job and work very hard with your parents. So last week we were talking about organisms, which was animals, and we were identifying the 5 basic parts of animals. So Mrs. Trump drew a dog last week, and we said the 5 main basic parts are the head of an animal, the eyes of an animal, the mouth of an animal, the body, and the limbs. But we also identified one as a tail. Not all animals have tails, but for example, this dog has a tail. And then another example of the part of an animal that could be on some would be fins, like on fish. So this week we'll be identifying the basic parts of plants. So while animals had 5 basic parts, plants only have 3. That's 2 less than 5. So the 3 main basic parts of plants are the stem, the long skinny part, the leaves that go off the stem, and then the roots that are underground that you do not see unless you pull a plant out. So Mrs. Trunk drew a plant herself, and the 3 main basic parts are in blue: the roots, the leaves that come off the stem, and then the stem. The other label that I have is a flower. Not all plants have flowers, but this is still a part of a plant. So I did it in orange since it's not seen on all plants. But the 3 main basic parts of all plants are the roots that are underground, the leaves that come off the stem, and then the stem itself, with a flower being on some plants, not all. And as we know, not all flowers look the same, and not all plants look the same. So those are the 3 main basic parts of a plant. So we know that all organisms are made of parts. Last week we talked about the animals. This week we're talking about plants. So last week for your assignment, I picked an animal and then labeled and identified the parts of that animal, those 5 parts. And this week you'll be doing the same thing but with the plant. You can draw any plant you want. If you'd like to, you can search up a plant on Google, or even go out into your front yard or backyard and look for a plant and then try to draw it yourself and label the roots, the stem, and the leaves. Remember, not all have a flower, but if you want to do one with the flower, that's fine. So that'll be your activity for the week. I hope you'll have a great week, and I hope you continue to learn at home. I know y'all are working very hard. Remember, the expectations at home are the same as at school, since your parents are kind of like your teachers the next few weeks. So remember, the rules of the classroom apply to your home classroom as well. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Hello again. Today we are going to do a quick mini lesson about capacity. Capacity is how much something can hold. And so we're going to talk about in terms of liquid. That's when we're thinking of capacity. We're going to start with the gallon. So today I want you to have a piece of paper, a pencil, pen, and we are going to understand how the gallon works. Are you ready? Okay. So I know you may have learned this in 3rd grade, But I love drawing the gallon man because it helps me remember when I go to the grocery store, because that's when I'm thinking about cooking and I'm thinking about gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and fluid ounces. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is draw a giant G for gallon. Okay, 1 gallon is the same as 4 quarts. Okay, and then each quart can hold 2 pints. So if I'm thinking about how many pints are in the entire gallon, I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 pints in a whole gallon, okay? So there's 1 quart holds 2 pints. And then each pint holds 2 cups. So if you're thinking about 1 whole quart holds 4 cups, and each pint holds 2 cups, and each quart holds 4 cups, because there's 2 pints in a quart. And I know that sounds confusing, but when you draw it, you will see that each pint has 2 cups. So this quart has 4 cups, this quart has 4 cups, this quart has 4 cups, and this quart has 4 cups. What is 4 groups of 4? 16. So how many cups are in the entire gallon? There are 16 cups in 1 whole gallon. So 1 pint is the same as 2 cups. Okay, now in each cup, like, if you're drinking a cup of milk, that cup of milk holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fluid ounces. So fluid ounces, if you ever look at anything that has liquid in it, the bottle, the container, it will tell you FLOZ. That means fluid ounces. It's talking about liquid. So each cup can hold 8. So if a pint has 2 cups, how many fluid ounces are in a pint? 8 plus 8 is what? 16. So each cup, and I'm putting these little dots to represent 8. Each cup has 8 fluid ounces. And of course, I'm not an artist, so this is not the most neatest, but you get the point. And I'm just doing 2 groups of 4 because, the 10 frame is always easy for me. So each cup holds 8 fluid ounces. And a fluid ounce is different than just a regular ounce. A regular ounce is used to measure weight, and a fluid ounce is talking about capacity and how much liquid something can hold. So now here is our gallon man, and then when you have any questions in terms of the gallon man, all you have to do is think about, okay, there are 2 quarts. How many cups are in 2 quarts? Then you just have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 cups in 2 quarts. Or if someone says there are 4 pints, how many cups in all? You can say there are 4 pints. 4 pints is a larger unit. We're going to smaller units. So 4 times 2 is what? 8. So there are 8 cups in 4 pints. Okay, so this is our mini lesson today on liquid and capacity, and I hope that this chart helps you with more conversion questions. Hey guys, it's Mrs. Asquay. I wanted to hop on today and make a video for you about a new math concept that we're introducing this week. So on today's math, we have an addition word problem for you guys to do. This is something that's new. If we were in school, we'd be working on it every single day this 9 weeks, but since we're not, I kind of wanted to show you how you can do it at home with your mom and your dad. So I took the problem that we wrote in our lessons for this week, and I wrote it out, and I'm going to draw a picture and use manipulatives to kind of show you what we're going to do with an addition problem. So addition is where you put things together to make more. So we're going to start with one thing, and we're going to put another thing with it. So let's read our problem. It says, Mrs. Asquay has 3 triangles. And Mrs. Ellison gives her 2 more triangles. How many does Mrs. Asquay have now? Okay, so let's read it again. Mrs. Asquay has 3 triangles. So I'm going to get 3 triangles. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3. And Mrs. Ellison gives her 2 more triangles. 2 more triangles. So we're going to count 2 more. 1, 2. Count them with me. 1, 2. And then my problem says, how many does Mrs. Asquay have now? So I had 3. And Mrs. Ellison gave me 2. So I had 3. Mrs. Ellison gave me 2. And we're going to add them together. This is a plus sign. When I add things together, I put this in the middle to show me that I'm adding. Let's count and see how many we have all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 triangles. 5 triangles. So we said 3 triangles plus 2 triangles equals 5 triangles. So this is something new for us. So every week I'm going to try to make a video with our story problem on how to work it out. And just to kind of give you an idea of what to do and how to do it. And so I may do a video with a different problem some weeks, and then you still have the problem for you to work on at home with your mom and dad. I miss you guys so much, and I hope that we get to see each other soon. If you need anything, call me, text me, message me. I like seeing all your pictures of your hard work that you're doing. Miss you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
During normal times, students would be learning how to solve mathematical equations, teachers would be showing new places to their students in geography, science projects would be shared, classrooms would be filled with learning.
All schools in the state of Texas shall be temporarily closed, but this does not mean education stops.
But now there's a new normal where school campuses are closed. Students stranded from their learning environments, but AlvinISD has learned to bridge that gap.
However, the district will continue to mobilize efforts to provide students with remote and digital learning opportunities. This difficult decision was made as part of a broader state and national effort to flatten the exposure curve associated with COVID-19 pandemic.
So I have that one, and I have how to access our online databases.
Working in a place like AlvinISD during a time of crisis is like working with your family every day. I know everyone here is looking out for the best interest of everyone else, and most especially for our kids. So it's a privilege to work among professionals that will rise to any challenge. We might be frustrated by school closing or a hurricane coming through or changes with TEA, but whatever it is, we immediately get together and start working on solutions and what we're going to do to take care of our kids.
Every teacher will be using Google Classroom as their learning platform. Every Friday at 4 p.m., starting tomorrow, Lessons, activities, and assignments will be posted in teachers' Google Classrooms. Be sure to check for these. Your student will be held accountable for their learning.
It's Ms. Hoskins, your principal, and I wanted to take a minute to tell you hi. I wanted to let you know that there are some things that you can be doing while you're not up here at school. Make sure that you are reading some good books. Make sure that you are writing about things that are happening or writing about the books that you're reading.
AlvinISD faculty have been quick to reach out to their students with announcements to help bring a sense of normalcy.
It is now time for us to say our morning announcement. Please stand to your feet. Place your right hand over your heart as we give respect to our country and our state.
Bringing the classroom to students' living rooms.
I wanted to share with you my teacher workspace. As you can see, I'm using my kitchen table. I have one who's in kindergarten who's working on a worksheet that his teacher emailed me. And then I have the other one who is in 3rd grade that's utilizing his Google Classroom.
Oh hey, welcome to Mr. Morrison's Mobile Command Center. This is where J.B. Hensler's criminal justice classes will be taught from. Here we get to use Google Hangouts, Google Classroom, and use all types of different technology in order to work together to get us through this. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Thanks guys, have a great day.
While I'm in my office working on this stuff, I also have a few things that I use to keep me busy. Got my bass guitars, a couple of guitars in here that I use while I'm thinking on what's the next step. But when I'm not doing that, I'm at my desk right here trying to make sure that, I'm still helping those kids learn and get them to where they need to be.
Welcome to Coach Owl's digital learning environment.
Hi guys.
Here he is working hard to create content for his geometry students and basketball athletes as Alvin High School's head basketball coach. Here we have Maya Owl, 2nd grade student at Glen York Elementary, working on a Google Classroom's art assignment. And a small message from our digitizers.
Jackie Pride never dies.
Go Rangers.
Hello everybody, this is Mr. Peralta and this is the Peralta Learning Zone. We just have 2 tables put together and this is where we come and read. We do some math work, we have some projects that we did back there, and then of course we are incorporating depth and complexity. It's a simple visual representation of what I want the kids to think. So this is where I'll be bringing some activities, simple activities that you guys can do at home.
We are learning at home. Right now we have some iPads, some laptops set up, some computers set up. We have been taking videos to share with students. We've been sharing online resources with students.
I miss you guys. I hope I get to see you soon, and if not, I'll see you online.
Helping to bring needed food for families.
Thank you, enjoy. Stay healthy.
We miss y'all! We're missing our kiddos and we really want to be able to see them and them to see us and know that we're still thinking about them even though we can't be with them right now.
We're having parades through neighborhoods so parents, students, and teachers can still feel like a connected community. The COVID-19 pandemic has proven to be a new life lesson for all of us, but AlvinISD is learning how to overcome.
Our Hawk, this is Decade Condor. Delta Control sends word that some rhythm rogues have hit the note depository and are currently in the Gamma Quadrant.
Decade Condor, this is Our Hawk. Roger that. Setting coordinates for the Gamma Quadrant. Engaging hyperdrive in 3, 2, 1.
Kraken coconuts!
Sure enough, rhythm rogues. Let's get those rhythms back. Get ready to read.
Read each card 2 times on numbers. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good job. Next one ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Awesome. Next one ready? Here we go. 1, 3, and 4, and 1, 3, and 4, and. Nice work. This one ready? Here we go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Excellent. Next one ready? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Awesome. One more. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You did it!
That was some fantastic reading, Captain.
They don't call me the quarter note queen for nothing.
Indeed.
Our Hawk, I'm hearing again from Delta Control that another group of rhythm rogues is on the loose.
Yes, more rhythm rogues. And this time, they're in the Alpha Quadrant. And they have the half notes.
Leaping lizards.
Engaging hyperdrive in 3, 2, 1.
Bodacious bananas.
You can say that again.
Bodacious bananas.
Indeed. Let's get those rhythms back. Get ready to read.
Each card on numbers 2 times. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice work. Next one ready? Here we go. 1, 1. Awesome. Next card. Ready? Go. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. You're amazing. Next one ready? Here we go. 1, 3, 1, 3. Last card. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yes!
Yeah! We showed those rhythm rogues not to mess with Delta Control. Wait, I'm getting another communication.
Yep, one last group of rhythm rogues. And they're in the Delta Quadrant.
Not the Delta Quadrant!
And they've got the whole notes.
Not the whole notes!
Engaging hyperdrive in 3, 2, 1.
Jumpin' jackrabbits!
Yes, bodacious bananas.
Our Hawk, I don't know if we're gonna make it out of this one.
Get it together, Decade Condor. This isn't just about us, it's about the whole galaxy.
You're right, you're right. Getting it together. Let's do this.
Let's get those rhythms back. Get ready to read.
2 times per card on numbers. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 1. Nice. Ready? Now, here we go. 1, 1. Good job. Next card, here we go. 1, 1. Almost there. Last card, here we go. 1, 4. 1, 4. Yeah, great job, guys.
Crackin' coconuts! We showed those rhythm rogues who's boss.
We sure did. Now, back to our planets for some social distancing.
Yes, I hear the new guidelines are that we should be about 6 million light years apart.
Can't be too safe. Fly swiftly, Decade Condor. This is Our Hawk, signing off.
Fly swiftly. This is Decade Condor, signing out.
Turn right in 1.5 light years. Recalculating route. Turn left on Stardust Street. Recalculating route. Turn right on Do You Even Know Where You Are Going? Our Hawk.
Hello friends, our unit this week we're learning about insects, and you guys had questions the last 2 days where we're learning a little bit about insects. The heart of what we're really going to get into is the 2 different types of life cycles of insects. So what is a life cycle? Well, think about people. You're born as a baby, then you get bigger, you're a toddler, a preschooler, still getting bigger, elementary school, then you're a teenager, then you're a young adult, then you get much older, right? So we grow from small to big. Well, insects go through the same thing. There's 2 different types of life cycles that we're going to learn about. One is called complete metamorphosis. So in complete metamorphosis, these insects go through 4 stages. They start out as an egg, then they turn into a larva, right? So butterflies, they are called caterpillars when they are in the larva stage. So larvas is when they look like a worm and they spend all their time eating and growing. From larva, they go to pupa. Remember yesterday in the picture, you had to guess what this insect was going to turn into as an adult? Well, that was a pupa. In this stage, it's really still, doesn't move, but a lot of growing is happening inside. You just don't see it. From pupa emerges a butterfly. So for a butterfly, it's a butterfly, but for any other insect, it could be any adult version of that insect. Then the adult version of the insect goes on to lay eggs. Now, the type of animals that go through, or type of insects that go through complete metamorphosis are butterflies, like we talked about, moths, ladybugs, and beetles. So ladybugs, they're going to look like an egg. Their larva stage is not going to look exactly like a caterpillar. They're going to have a pupa stage and may not look exactly like this, like our butterflies do. And a ladybug adult stage is not going to look like a butterfly. It's going to look like an adult. And that ladybug will go on to lay eggs. So we use the acronym ELPA to remember complete metamorphosis. E for egg, L for larva, P for pupa, A for adult. The 4 parts of the life cycle. And again, these are the different animals that go through, or in different insects that go through complete metamorphosis.
Hi everyone. Whoop. Thanks for watching. We have created a video for you, giving you ways to practice your words at home. Many of you have all of your sight word cards, high frequency word cards from the year, the different color cards. This week we're introducing 5 new words. So this week we really want you reviewing your high frequency words that you have received and are learning from the beginning of the year, but also working on these 5 new words. We're going to show you different activities that you can play at home. And these activities, you can play them with different principles, not just high frequency words. But we hope you enjoy, and please let us know if you have any questions.
Hi everyone. Right now we're going to go over our, we're going to go over our 5 high frequency words. Remember, high frequency words are words that we see a lot in the things that we read. You will see them a lot in the books you're reading. I see them in books I'm reading. These are our 5 words. Can you please say them after me? All, was, where, that, get. What do you notice about these words? Well, I noticed that these 2 words start with the same letter. Was starts with W. Where starts with W. Was, where. Do you remember this one? All, was, where, that, get. All right, we are going to choose a word to play our special sight word, high frequency word game. How about get? Get. I'm going to write the word get. Do you remember how we spell it? Get. Get. All right. So right now, I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to erase a letter. And then when I say open them, you're going to tell me which letter I erased. Are you ready? Take one last look. Get. All right. Close your eyes. No peeking. All right. Open them. Which letter did I erase? E, you're right. Great job. E. Get. 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 I'm going to erase another letter. Close your eyes. Open them. What letter did I erase? Get. The T, that's right. Get. All right, I'm going to erase 2 letters this time. Close your eyes. Open them. Which letters are missing? All we have is E. Help me out. G. Remember, we're making the word get. Get. T. You're right. All right, I'm going to put this little guy back in his home. Bye, Get. See you later. Put him back over here. This is something you could play with the words at home. You don't have to have a dry erase board. You could just write it on a piece of paper, write the word, and then use a different color piece of paper to cover up 1 letter or 2 letters, that sort of thing. All right, we're going to tell our words goodbye. Can you please practice these this week? We're practicing these words. They're going to help us become better readers and writers. Say goodbye to them. Goodbye, Get. Goodbye, all. Goodbye, that. Goodbye, was. Goodbye, where. Goodbye. Goodbye, where.
Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Wyatt. How are you? Today I just want to show you a quick fun game that you can play at home. It's a high-frequency word scavenger hunt. You can use index cards. You can use sticky notes. You can use notepad. You can use cereal box cut up and write the words on the index cards or whatever you choose to use, and just hide them. Have a parent hide them around the house, and you go search for the sight words. And after you find the sight words, write them down on a piece of paper. And also, you can make it fun. You can time yourself to see how long it takes you to find them. And as you find a word, say the word and maybe use it in a sentence or, something like that. So if you have any questions about it, just let us know. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, it's Miss Donahoe. I'm coming to you from my daughter Megan's bedroom. So we're going to show you this afternoon how to use sight words, our high frequency words, to play tic-tac-toe. Okay, so I'm going to turn the screen around and I'm going to show you my kids. Okay, so this is my son Ryan.
Hi.
And this is my daughter Megan.
Hi.
And they're going to be showing us how to play tic-tac-toe today. So on these papers, I have written this week's high frequency words. So I'm going to put them there. They're each going to grab 1 paper. And this is going to be their word that they're going to be using when we play tic-tac-toe today. Okay, Ryan, can you read us your word?
Get.
Get. What's your word, Megan?
Where.
Where. So instead of using X's and O's on their tic-tac-toe board, they are going to use their sight words. All right, we're going to let the youngest go first, and that's Ryan. So Ryan, you go first.
I want to go right here.
And these two are really competitive. So they both say they're the best tic-tac-toe players. They're being very strategic. So let's see who's going to win this game of tic-tac-toe. Okay, so Ryan wrote the word get, and Megan wrote the word where. And the object of tic-tac-toe, remember, is to get 3 in a row, either up and down or diagonal. Oh, it's getting really tense. This might end up in a draw. She's thinking. This is difficult. Okay. So Ryan wrote the word get. Megan's writing where, and Ryan wrote the word get. So did anybody win this round?
No.
Nope, it's a draw. So these two are probably going to spend the rest of the afternoon playing sight word tic-tac-toe, high frequency word tic-tac-toe, right guys?
Absolutely.
All right, so you guys have fun at home playing this game. We hope you enjoy it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss Danceman. I wanted to share with you some high-frequency word games that you could do outside if you wanted to. All you're going to need is a piece of chalk, and with that piece of chalk, you can take the high-frequency word cards that we have given you in the past, or the new word cards that your mom or dad can make for you that we just gave the list on Google Classroom for. The words all and the word was, and I think where, all kinds of new words. You can go outside with a piece of chalk, and what you can do with that piece of chalk is create a hopscotch on the concrete anywhere outside at your house, and you can put, with your parents' help or big brother or big sister, the words on the sidewalk so that you can play hopscotch. And you can have your mom or dad help you, or maybe you could practice with the chalk yourself. If you don't have chalk, you can always make cards on paper with crayons or markers, and you can lay them down on the ground outside if it's not too windy, and you can play hopscotch that way, jumping on the word cards and saying them and reading them and spelling them as you jump on them. Okay, I hope you try to get outside and do some high frequency word practice on hopscotch or with chalk, okay?
During normal times, students would be learning how to solve mathematical equations, teachers would be showing new places to their students in geography, science projects would be shared, classrooms would be filled with learning.
All schools in the state of Texas shall be temporarily closed, but this does not mean education stops.
But now there's a new normal where school campuses are closed. Students stranded from their learning environments, but AlvinISD has learned to bridge that gap.
However, the district will continue to mobilize efforts to provide students with remote and digital learning opportunities. This difficult decision was made as part of a broader state and national effort to flatten the exposure curve associated with COVID-19 pandemic.
So I have that one, and I have how to access our online databases.
Working in a place like AlvinISD during a time of crisis is like working with your family every day. I know everyone here is looking out for the best interest of everyone else, and most especially for our kids. So it's a privilege to work among professionals that will rise to any challenge. We might be frustrated by school closing or a hurricane coming through or changes with TEA, but whatever it is, we immediately get together and start working on solutions and what we're going to do to take care of our kids.
Every teacher will be using Google Classroom as their learning platform. Every Friday at 4 p.m., starting tomorrow, lessons, activities, and assignments will be posted in teachers' Google Classrooms. Be sure to check for these. Your student will be held accountable for their learning.
It's Miss Hoskins, your principal, and I wanted to take a minute to tell you hi. I wanted to let you know that there are some things that you can be doing while you're not up here at school. Make sure that you are reading some good books. Make sure that you are writing about things that are happening or writing about the books that you're reading.
AlvinISD faculty have been quick to reach out to their students with announcements to help bring a sense of normalcy.
It is now time for us to say our morning announcement. Please stand to your feet. Place your right hand over your heart as we give respect to our country and our state.
Bringing the classroom to students' living rooms.
I wanted to share with you my teacher workspace. As you can see, I'm using my kitchen table. I have one who's in kindergarten who's working on a worksheet that his teacher emailed me. And then I have the other one who's in 3rd grade that's utilizing his Google Classroom.
Oh, hey, welcome to Mr. Morrison's Mobile Command Center. This is where Jamie Hensler's criminal justice classes will be taught from. Here we get to use Google Hangouts, Google Classroom, and use all types of different technology in order to work together to get us through this. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
While I'm in my office working on this stuff, I also have a few things that I use to keep me busy. Got my bass guitars, a couple of guitars in here that I use while I'm thinking on what's the next step. But when I'm not doing that, I'm at my desk right here trying to make sure that, you know, I'm still helping those kids learn and get them to where they need to be.
Welcome to Coach Owl's digital learning environment.
Hi guys.
Here he is working hard to create content for his geometry students and basketball athletes as Alvin High School's head basketball coach. Here we have Maya Owl, second grade student at Glen York Elementary, working on a Google Classroom's art assignment. And a small message from our digitizers.
Jackie Pride never dies.
Go Rangers.
Hello everybody, this is Mr. Peralta and this is the Peralta Learning Zone. We just have 2 tables put together and this is where we come and read. We do some math work, we have some projects that we did back there, and then of course we are incorporating depth and complexity. It's a simple visual representation of what I want the kids to think. So this is where I'll be bringing some activities, simple activities that you guys can do at home.
We are learning at home. Right now we have some iPads, some laptops set up, some computers set up. We have been taking videos to share with students. We've been sharing online resources with students.
I miss you guys. I hope I get to see you soon, and if not, I'll see you online.
Helping to bring needed food for families.
Thank you. Enjoy. Stay healthy.
We miss y'all.
You know, we're missing our kiddos, and we really want to be able to see them and them to see us and know that we're still thinking about them, even though we can't be with them right now.
We're having parades through neighborhoods so parents, students, and teachers can still feel like a connected community. The COVID-19 pandemic has proven to be a new life lesson for all of us, but AlvinISD is learning how to overcome.
Hey guys, welcome to yet another angle of my kitchen. I'm back in the kitchen for today's experiment because we are making something that will hopefully be edible by the time we're done. Today we are going to try to make some ice cream. So, I have an apron on because I don't want to spill anything on myself, and I have already washed my hands. You want to make sure you want to start with clean hands since we're about to eat our finished product. The materials I'm going to be using today are a cup of half and half. Now, if you want to try and make this at home, which by all means go ahead because it's kind of fun, you can use any form of milk. So you could use 2% milk or whole milk, half and half, heavy whipping cream, all of those. Just keep in mind that the less thick of a milk that you use, so 2% milk or skim milk would be like the thinnest. It will just be, the ice cream will be less creamy and it will probably get less solid. It'll just be more of like a milkshake than actual ice cream. So I'm using a cup of half and half. I also am going to use 2 tablespoons of sugar, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which if you wanted to get creative, you could use something other than vanilla. If you wanted to make mint chocolate chip ice cream, you could put mint extract in it. If you wanted to make fruit flavored ice cream, you could put fruit extract in it. Just is up to you. I'm going to be using a 1/3 cup of salt, some ice, and 2 different size baggies, a big Ziploc bag and then like a small sandwich bag. I also have some sprinkles for eating the final product and a bowl and a spoon. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is get my sandwich bag, and in my sandwich bag I'm going to put my 1 cup of half and half and hopefully not spill. And then to that, I am going to add my 2 teaspoons of sugar. So here's 1 teaspoon of sugar. 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of sugar. I guess you could add more than that if you really wanted it to be sugary, but it's gonna be pretty sweet already as it is. And then I'm going to add my half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I'm going to pour and add. It's important that you don't go over on something like vanilla extract or extracts in general, because they're really strong. So if you add more than what the recipe calls for, it will probably not taste good. It'll taste bitter. So that's everything that's going inside of my sandwich bag. So what you need to do is seal it and try to get most of the air out of it, and seal it as tightly as you possibly can, because if it is not sealed all the way, you will lose your ice cream, or you will get things inside of your ice cream that you don't want inside of your ice cream. I'm gonna put this aside for a second. And the next thing we're gonna do is take our big Ziploc baggie and fill it about halfway, 3/4 of the way full of ice. So I've got some ice. I think I'm gonna start with that. So about halfway full. Then what you're going to do to your bag of ice is you are going to add 1/3 a cup of salt. Now, this is the most important step in this entire process, and also where the science comes in. If you do not add your 1/3 cup of salt, you will not get ice cream. So, add your 1/3 cup of salt. Honestly, I might just put a little bit more in for good measure, because I feel like when you make this, you cannot have enough salt. So, got my salt in there. Then what you're gonna do, take your smaller Ziploc baggie and I'm gonna mix him a little bit because all my sugar was in the bottom. Mix him around a tiny bit. Then you're gonna nestle that in your ice and salt, and you're gonna seal the big bag. You wanna seal it, probably try and get as much air out of it as possible. And then, here's where it's gonna really take some stamina and some patience. And it's probably gonna be the most exercise you're gonna get today. You're gonna shake the bag for a really long time. So I said shake the bag for a really long time, and I meant it. So I'm gonna take this time while I'm shaking the bag to explain to you the science of what's going on inside of our bag. So, if you don't already know, water freezes at a temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why we don't get a lot of ice and snow down here in Texas, or at least in our part of Texas, because we don't reach those kinds of temperatures very often. But here's the deal. When you make ice cream, what you want is a solid. You want to freeze it. And ice cream is not just water. There are other things in there besides the water. So the ice cream freezes at a temperature that's lower than 32 degrees, which is why we normally put ice cream in our freezers. But we're trying to make ice cream without the freezer process. So what we need to do is we need to get the water to be even colder than 32 degrees. So what we do is we add the salt. So what salt does is the salt molecules get in between the water molecules as they're trying to come together and form a solid or ice. And as they come in there and they get in the way, they prevent the water from freezing and becoming ice. And therefore, what it ends up doing is it lowers the temperature of the water. It helps the water to actually get colder than 32 degrees, because normally what happens is the water reaches 32 degrees, it freezes, it stops getting colder. But the salt, which we put in the bag, is what helps our water to get colder than 32 degrees. And we're shaking the bag around in there so that you can have as much of that salt interacting with those water molecules as possible, so that you can get that bag as cold as you possibly can, cold enough so that you can make ice cream. And I just explained that to you, and I'm literally still shaking this bag. So I'm going to shake probably for a tiny bit more and then test and see how solid my ice cream actually got. I'm going to open this up and see how the ice cream fares. Okay, so I think it's done because you can tell it's definitely holding its shape. If I squish it, honestly, it probably could be a tiny bit harder than this, but it's actually pretty good. So I did this over my sink because if you look, some salt has gotten like into the crease right there. And I know from experience that if I open this up, it means my first few bites of this are gonna be extremely salty. So I'm gonna use the sink to just rinse out that little seal to hopefully get some of the salt off of it. But we wanna do it quickly because any warmth will end up heating your ice cream back up and then you'll get a milkshake. So you can see inside, got the final product. I'm going to scoop some of this out into my bowl, slash all of it. I'm definitely gonna eat all of it. Now, if you really wanted it to be like actual hard ice cream, you would have to put it in the freezer, but that would be defeating the entire purpose of this experiment, now wouldn't it? So now, I've got a bowl full of ice cream, and I feel like sprinkles make everything better. So I'm gonna put some festive sprinkles on my ice cream, and I'm gonna taste it. Yep, that's good. It's real good. Out of all the experiments I've done, I would recommend trying this one at home if you have the stuff for it, because it's really fun. But I do promise, if we make it back to school this year, we will make this in class.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Mr. Sunshine. Today is going to be a great day. We have the sun shining on us, ready to study Newton's first law of motion. The first part of Newton's law states an object at rest will remain at rest until acted upon by an outside force. This just means nothing will move unless something causes it to move. So let's explore this. Here we have a toy dinosaur sitting on top of a card on top of a cup. According to Newton's first law, if I flick the card, the dinosaur should not move because my force is acting upon the card and not the dinosaur. Let's watch and see. Did the dinosaur move? Let's try this in slow motion. In our next demonstration, we have Barbie hitching a ride to the beach in the back of the monster truck. What's going to happen when Ken pushes the gas too quickly? Why did she fall back? Well, Newton's first law says a body at rest is wanting to stay at rest. When the truck moved very quickly and she was not attached to the truck, she did not move. So it looked like she went backwards, when actually she didn't move, the truck just moved forward and she fell off. Let's try this in slow motion. we have two logs, one big one and one small one. According to Newton's laws, we know neither one wants to move. But does one of these logs not want to move more than the other one? Let's see. So when I move the smaller log, it's very easy to pull. But when I try to pull the big log, it doesn't move. So why is this? Well, you should know, obviously, one log has much greater mass than the other log. And that is correct. That is called inertia. Inertia is the resistance of an object to move if it's not moving, or stop moving if it is moving. Therefore, if an object has a greater mass, its inertia is greater. Both of the logs were at rest until they were acted upon by an outside force. But what was different? The amount of mass that they had. One had greater inertia, therefore greater resistance to move. The second part of Newton's law is an object in motion will remain in motion with the same speed and direction unless acted upon by an outside force. Simply put, things will continue moving until something stops them. Let's see this part of the law in action. This first demonstration shows how Barbie learned her lesson from sitting on the back of the truck. Now she's sitting on top, holding on, and she feels safe. Let's see how safe she is. Oh no, a dinosaur blockade! So what happened? Just as Newton's law stated, Barbie was in motion when the truck stopped. She kept staying in motion until she was acted upon by an outside force. Gravity and the ground. Ouch. Let's try this in slow motion.
Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Here I have two different sized logs with two different sized mass, which is going to demonstrate the differences in inertia. Both of these logs don't want to start moving, and once moving, both of these don't want to stop moving. But the one with the greatest inertia is not going to want to start moving the most, and it will be the hardest to stop. So let's see. As we push the first log, start it rolling. It gets stopped by the stick. As we apply the same force to the second log, or more force to get the second log rolling, so don't forget anything we've talked about today. Newton's first law, when an object is at rest, it's going to remain at rest until acted upon by an outside force. When an object is in motion, it's going to remain in motion until acted upon by an outside force. But the greater the inertia, or greater the mass, the more resistance it's going to have to move or to stop moving. Thank you, and hope you have a great day. And remember, even on the cloudy days, the sun will eventually shine.
We hope you enjoyed the learning activities that were designed for you today. Parents and students, we hope you take time, though, to spend time together. Develop a schedule each day. Routine is very important when you're at home, so set some time aside for family time and some time for learning. We appreciate all that you're doing and all the support that you continue to provide schools across the Houston metropolitan area as we together work for the betterment of our students. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.